I was in town when fire burned down.
I am Hollis, Liverpool, and I've written this book, God, the Press and Uriah Butler. When you come to the launch, you'll hear why I use the name God, the Press and Uriah Butler.
And young, I was in town when police superintendent.
Well, I have written many books, but this book is a special one for me because history is my bag. In fact, I used to teach a little history years ago. And I wrote this book, the title of which is God, the Press and Uriah Butler, because I read about Butler, and Butler changed Trinidad and Tobago in the 1930s. Fought against all the struggles against colonialism and so on. Although there are books written on him and although there are a lot of little specials written on him, I felt it was not enough. And then I had my own class, my master's class in Carnival Studies. And when I spoke to some of the students who are in the Masters of Arts class in Carnival Studies, although they come in to understand Carnival, but at the same time you ask them about other questions about Trinidad and Tobago. And I found that so little was known about Butler. And I remember speaking to one of the gentlemen who helped me with editing the book, and he went to QRC. And he was telling me that he went to QRC and he spent all his life in QRC as a student, and he did A-levels in QRC. And sorry to name QRC, but he went there and he said that no one ever told him about Butler. So after spending all these years, no one has ever told me about Butler. And my own class, as I said, knew very little about Butler. I remember talking to a student and said, tell me something about Butler. And the student said, Butler Highway. so that's all they knew about Butler. So I told myself, I have to write about Butler. Finally, I could say that I happened to, one of my colleagues and mine, we went to see Butler. And from talking to Butler, the things that Butler told us, we had to write. Well, Labor Day is the 19th, that's the Sunday after, or the Monday is the holiday. And I chose the 18th, which is the Saturday, because this is my contribution and the contribution of the Academy of Arts at UCT, the university. This is our contribution to Labor Day. And we felt that for a day like Labor Day, the average person in Trinidad should not just know about labor, but it should know about the struggles of labor and the struggles that laborites had in the past, the struggle that people in Trinidad and Tobago had in their, and especially laboring classes, to fight colonialism. And Butler did it, and Butler is the leading figure in terms of the fight for trade unionism. So we felt that a day like Labor Day, all persons in Trinidad and Tobago, and indeed in the Caribbean and overseas, should know about Jubal Uriah Butler and his fight for labor. From the book itself, first of all, if you're ready to understand labor, you have to understand the struggle. If you want to be an architect, you have to understand architecture. If you're doing law, you have to understand law. And so the average person is not just beating a drum or going for the seaside and or go to Maracas Bay for Labor Day or something. You must understand. You know, a friend of mine once told me, and this is what I want to get out of this book and this struggle. And he told me that if you earn a cent, if you earn a penny in Trinidad and Tobago today, realize that Butler gave you a cent. That's a big challenge, and that's a big quote. And if you own a penny, you owe Butler 1 cent. So that the reason for the book and the reason for Labor Day and the reason for the launch of the book is to make you understand that. You know, people know a lot about Butler outside of Trinidad and Tobago. And I have found with our students here and our people here, all they know about Butler is that there was a riot. But what caused the riot? Why did Butler call the riot? Why did Butler call a national strike among Indians and Africans in Trinidad and Tobago? And when I look again, and this is a great point, when I look at the African Americans in the States and their black approach, etc., and the black people matter, and the Africans matter, etc., I told myself, let us launch this book because the first man in Trinidad and Tobago to show that blacks matter is Uriah Butler. So this weekend is the launch to show that we in Trinidad and Tobago, we also have black matter, black people matter, and black lives matter. And the launch will be at Napa, and it's on the 18th, that is Saturday 18th, 5 p.m. in the afternoon, so you can get home early. And hopefully we'll have a lovely program for you. Do come and listen and understand from the speakers what the book is all about, and you get to understand the book itself, and understand the writers, understand. I'll bring also the editors, and I want to understand the writer of the preface, Dr. Professor Nantambu, and he will tell you all what the book is all about, and I will add my penny to it and show you why I wrote the book, and hopefully you'll have when I put my signature to it, you should, for my signature alone, you'll get a little something for it in case, when you add your signature to books, it esteems the book. You have something to pass on to your grandchildren and your children.